We want to start the afternoon session with an interesting talk on embracing cloud and big data and embracing the future. This is going to be a really interesting discussion. I'm proud to introduce the Director of IT Solution Sales at Huawei Technologies, Mr. Jevgenijs. Please give him a big round of applause. Welcome. Hello, there you go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Yev, and I represent Huawei. And this presentation, basically, we're going to talk about some of the challenges and future solutions for cloud computing, private public clouds, hybrid clouds, and big data. So at the present moment, we see a trend in the enterprise IT that is basically connected to several different, is connected to many industries. And it goes around constant innovation, increasing efficiency, where it's possible, enterprises are trying to save money, but still have the best possible service and provide it to their customers. And in order to stand in line with their competitors, they need, of course, to use all possible IT tools in order to increase the revenue and cut the costs as much as possible. Some of the challenges that enterprises are facing are related to big data. The data is rising all the time, and it creates a lot of challenging to basically be able to analyze this data correctly and extract all the needed information from this data, such as fast financial reports, or be able to monetize this data in a way to increase the average revenue of an enterprise company or any other industry that I can possibly think about. Retail, finance, banking, telecom industries, they all face with the challenges that the data is raising. Their computing power that is needed to analyze this data fast is constantly increasing. So they basically face a challenge that they require either to increase their computing power, that means that their operational and capital expenditure are increasing to analyze the data. And they also need to come up with some kind of new ideas how to make money based on this data. The monetization of big data currently is a big question for a lot of enterprises and other companies. There are also basically some evolving process which is currently happening in the cloud environment. A lot of companies are started from server virtualization, which is basically help them to to gain more power from their bare metal, from their hardware. Rather install a lot of different virtual machines on the same server and gain a lot of more possibilities to use the same server and increase basically a possibility to serve more customers with the virtualization environment. At the second stage, the companies basically started to use a private cloud environment, either their own or private cloud environment provided by cloud providers like Rackspace, Cogent, and a lot of others. This created, of course, a possibility just to turn the investment to the OpEx side, not to invest a lot of money in buying the real hardware, but it created a lot of challenges in terms of operation and maintenance, support, and some other key factors related to basically if the private cloud was managed by somebody else, or it created a lot of manual interactions with the company that provided the private cloud services. As a third stage, enterprises and other industry companies, they started to use the hybrid cloud. Basically, a connectivity to some kind of web services or smart virtualization services that enable them on demand to have some kind of increase in resources where they have some kind of peak capacity and they need it immediately to serve sometimes thousands of customers. It, of course, was a good invention that the company can, out of the sudden, just for a peak time of several weeks or several months, can increase its virtualization or virtual hardware capacity, double it, triple it, in order to serve more customers that are arriving to exhibition, for example, or some kind of football game, or something else. But it created also a lot of challenges in terms of security, operation and maintenance, and other challenges. So some of the challenges are basically that the interconnection between the private clouds and the public clouds are actually not open. There is no real standard at the present moment to basically interconnect several different environments together in order to have kind of single blanket environment that an enterprise can use and manage it without paying a lot of money for change requests or for very sophisticated integrations between some kind of private virtualization environment, infrastructure as service environment, and public cloud services. And of course, we don't need to forget about the security factor. The security in public cloud it can be really challenging. Of course, most of the times it supports a lot of different standards that are compliant with specific industries. But when we're talking about financial industry, or when we're talking about government industries, it of course do not comply with specific private security measures that those financial or government institutions are deploying on their own networks or on their own private in-house cloud environments or bare metal environments. And normally the public cloud providers, they are not flexible in terms of providing additional security because they have like several different packages of services, and this is all that you can choose from. There are no specific customizations most of the time. There is also a problem with quality of service and definition of SLAs per applications. For example, you cannot define some kind of recipe for specific highly driven and highly demanding applications that you want to push inside public or private cloud, and you cannot expect that this application will sustain those quality of service and those SLA requirements while it bypassing from the private to the public cloud. There is no streamline for quality of service, or there is no possibility most of the time to create some kind of recipe to bits and bytes in order to enable for your own enterprise purposes or for your customers gold or platinum SLA levels for specific applications that you are pushing to public or private cloud environments. Another way is basically, yes, there is a public cloud, there is private cloud. When you connect them together, you receive some kind of hybrid cloud. But nevertheless, if you want to install some kind of sophisticated applications, you still need to have a lot of manual intervention. There is no single platform to manage and combine all the resources and all the application management between public and private cloud. Most of the times there are kind of silo management tools, and most of the time when we're talking about high demanding applications, they require a lot of manual administrative intervention. So basically, the summary is that the technology to connect private and public cloud is not open. There is no real standard at the present moment. It has problems with security, which is also very challenging. There is no possibility to have really deep quality of service SLA mechanism per application that you want to push to between private and public clouds. And in terms of management, there is no single tool to manage all the resources between the private and public cloud, and basically to manage specific applications that are migrating from one cloud to another. In terms of vision of future-oriented IT infrastructure, as we see it, it's supposed to be as open as it can be, and it's supposed to use basically x86 standard technology together with a combination of NFV, SDN, and OpenStack standards in order to provide to enterprise customers or telco customers a possibility to interconnect and integrate with any possible services in a matter of minutes, hours, not to invest a lot of money in change requests or heavy integrations. So we see that the management of the entire private and public cloud should be a one single platform. This means that in this management, as we can see it, you can manage even multiple data centers, let's say 100 data centers from a single platform, and everything will be managed by one system, including the bare metal servers, including all the computing, networking, and storage resources, all the data center resources, of course, the virtualization layer, and a very smart public cloud layer that provides such services as big data, platform as service, and of course, software as service with a lot of different possibilities for enterprise applications, and not to forget about the possibility to virtualize specific core networking functions that before that was just impossible, or even right now it's impossible to do. So, as we can see, the cloud solution, as I was already mentioned, it's supposed to be open, and it's supposed to have some kind of standardization to interconnect with other cloud environment. So we embrace the technology of OpenStack in order to interconnect with other cloud environment, whether basically any cloud environment and any hypervisor for virtualization. We also embrace the technology to manage under one platform all possible resources, whether bare metal, virtualization, networking, storage, or all other data center resources. We also think that OpenStack can basically, utilizing OpenStack cascading, it will be a system that will enable to have multi-cloud deployment and integration with any other third-party clouds using open APIs. And of course, in terms of security, imagine to yourself that you can, based on NFV, virtualize any security functions like VDPI, vFirewall, or VPN functions, and just send them to any part of the network, whether private or public cloud, and enable those services and provision them almost instantly. This is basically possible with an introduction of OpenStack integration between different puzzle blocks and different services. The agility of network is also very important. The agility of the network and the application on top of that. Basically, when you're running out of low resources in a private cloud environment, there should be some kind of smart platform that will enable migration, automatic migration of your applications from the private cloud to a public cloud, or vice versa. And at the present moment, we utilize the platform as service and combination with our virtualization and cloud environment to accomplish this task. So it helps us completely to automate the process of scaling, auto-scaling, auto-healing, and auto-shrinking of per application. So basically, if application requires, based on specific KPIs that you set in the application to expand the virtualization layer, it will do it on many different factors that you can predefine by yourself according to your application requirements. In terms of intelligence of innovation, the concept of analyzing big data is not something new. It's been quite a while on the market. But the tools to basically retrieve smart information from the big data are quite limited. And in terms of monetization and providing basically some kind of tools for the enterprise companies to really make money based on that information are limited. So at the present moment, we're basically designing and building tools that will enable our customers to make money and monetize the big data information that they are fetching, not only just make the financial reports faster, but rather have some kind of added value from any information that is basically stripped out of the big data systems. So, and when we're talking about our cloud, it's supposed to be open, and we support OpenStack. It's supposed to be extremely secure. It's supposed to be agile in terms of application migration. And of course, it's supposed to have intelligent innovation as well. We also see a very big trend in data center consolidation that helps basically the customer to reduce total cost of ownership and make their data center more greener, save a lot of money on energy. This is probably one of the most important factors that most of the data centers, most of the OpEx is going to the energy factor and the cooling factor. So we see a lot of trends of big enterprises of consolidating all data centers and making maybe larger, bigger, more centralized data centers with complete new technologies to save money on energy cost and make the data center greener. In terms of cloud design, it's also very important to have some kind of elastic cloud design with the most new technologies like platform as service, for example, that will enable you to introduce any applications in your private or public cloud environment. It doesn't matter whether those applications are for the enterprise use internally or for the customer's use externally. We also believe that there should be a kind of open platform based on PaaS environment that will enable startups and other companies to utilize the infrastructure of specific enterprise companies in order to make some kind of new software and the revenue share model of distribution of this software to whether to the enterprise customers or some kind of other revenue share models. We invested a lot of efforts in building a specific PaaS layer, a very smart PaaS layer on top of our virtualization infrastructure that is capable to take most of the applications and deliver them at least 5 to 10 times faster to the internal enterprise or the customers, by that decreasing the time to market from multiple months to several hours or several days in terms of introduction of new applications in the public cloud environment. It helps also, for example, this PaaS layer is so smart that it completely automates the process of installation of high-demanding applications in private and public cloud environment, by that minimizing almost completely some kind of administrative intervention of IT personnel in the installation of high-demanding software, whether in public or private cloud environments. At the present moment, the PaaS environment will serve also as a kind of key service broker of installation and of any software and bringing it to the level of SaaS environment. For example, you can take most of the applications and in a matter of sometimes minutes, sometimes several hours, bring any application which is actually not SaaS to be a SaaS-enabled application, and you can already sell it to your customers. This PaaS environment enables also a possibility to virtualize some of the core networking functions, like, for example, firewall, router, or some kind of telco core networking applications like virtual IMS, or let's say most of the complete mobile operator networking functions. As we know, most of the world is talking right now about Internet of Things, machine-to-machine. It's very important to know, basically, that the complete machine-to-machine platform, if some kind of enterprise want to buy something like that, is expensive because it demands some sophisticated hardware, software, and it requires a lot of intervention from the telecom operator, because in most of machine-to-machine installations, there are a lot of interaction with the 2G and 3G network of the mobile operators. So imagine to yourself that you can have a full MVNO, which is basically a mobile virtual network operator, a complete, let's say, virtualized mobile operator infrastructure in one blade server. Everything based on NFV. The PaaS platform is basically managing the solution and virtualizing also all the core networking functions of a complete mobile operator, and by that enabling you to become, first of all, a virtual mobile operator, and also provide some kind of machine-to-machine services to any of your customers, whether smart metering, Internet of Buildings, Internet of Vehicles, or any other environment. So in order to have some kind of platform like that, using the current technologies, which are not virtualized, is extremely expensive. But we actually have, and we're thinking about a solution which will be complete VMVNO for machine-to-machine in one blade server that has a complete telecom infrastructure needed for a solution like that in one blade server. So this is basically where the trend is going. In order to face the challenges of machine-to-machine environment, it's of course needed to have some kind of virtual MVNO environment to do it. So thank you very much for your attention to my presentation. In case you have any questions, I will be gladly answer it in a later stage. Thank you.